exactly.
I think it's 11 and we should start. The recording has already started. So a very good morning to all the people. Greetings of the day from in India, in Greece, and across the globe, people. Today we are with a special guest, Miss Georgia Maneta. She's from Greece, and today we will be talking about the the technology and the tips, the techniques she has used during the lockdown or and post pandemic while taking the online classes, while going digital to make your class more effective. So let me just quickly introduce Miss Georgia. She is a teacher of English. So let me just quickly introduce Miss Georgia. She is a teacher of English, eTwinning ambassador, IYS country director, oral assessor of English, and NGGE board member. I welcome Miss Georgia being the eminent speaker with us. Thank you so much, Georgia, for accepting our invite to be with us today to share your skills and knowledge. Miss Georgia, you are on mute today, so kindly unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you,
And
Rabia. But could you please turn on your camera so that I can see that I'm talking to
okay, I'm
somebody?
on. All right. I'm so sorry. I just did not realize while introducing you. While so sorry for that.
That's okay. Thank you.
And oh, all right. So we are on the platform of Igniting Dreams of Young Members Foundation, and we are an organization who are helping the students, who are helping the educators to talk about, to understand the space exploration and lot many things when it comes to the teaching factor, when it comes to understanding that how we can do more and more for the society, for the students, for the humanity. So I think that's a wonderful platform to be with. And all thanks to Ravi Shankar sir for inviting us all together for this
Indeed.
collaboration actually. So Ms. Georgia, would you like to add on something and then we can may proceed with the question and answer section for you?
Oh, I think you have covered my introduction really well. I consider myself a teacher of English, just a teacher of English, and a lover of my job because when I am around kids, I feel younger and happier. Actually, I think
Wow.
I think that I have something to offer to society, and educating and teaching children is one of the most important things that one can do.
Absolutely.
Rabia, you have to unmute yourself again.
Teaching is the most important kind of the humanity that you are doing for this for the society basically. And
Mhm.
I think the most important fact I would like to share one thing before we start with the question answer sessions. There are many NGOs, there are many organizations, non-profit organizations who are working for the society, are working for the humanity, be it for the women empowerment, be it for the students, education of the students. But having said that, doing something without involvement of any kind of monetary thing or monetary benefit from outside, I think that's the most appropriate approach, and that's the most humanistic approach towards helping the society, I guess.
Exactly.
And I would, and yes, doing a charity in terms of monetary fund or something, doing in terms of anything money involved, that's something a person can do according to their own wills. We should not ask for that actually, because something that I don't know, according to me, it distracts the purpose actually. So if you would like to add on something, Ms. Georgia over here, or Dr. Vishari, you are with us, would you like to add on something about it? And yes, we can go ahead with the question and answer session.
I'm okay. I totally agree with you. Offering
Perfect.
nowadays in society to society is something that we should all think to do. We need a better
Absolutely.
world.
Right. So Dr. Vishali, would you like to say something here?
I also totally agree with you because we are living in a society where we need to develop the society. So
Absolutely.
I'm totally in agree with you. Thank you.
Wonderful. And let me just introduce Dr. Vashali as well. She is a educator and by profession, and wonderful, wonderful person by heart. Thank you so much, Dr. Vishali,
Indeed.
for joining us today.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead with the question and answer session. All right, Ms. Georgia. So are you ready to answer the questions?
Thumbs up.
Wonderful. All the way best. Okay. So the first question to you: what motivated you to become a teacher?
Okay, I don't know what motivated me, but ever since I remember myself, I always try to teach someone to do something or to learn something. I have a sister who is 2 years younger than me, and I remember trying to teach her the English I started learning or Italian that I learned on TV. So I try to teach her as well, torturing in a way, anyway, or trying to show to her things that I learned 2 years after her. So I think it was something that was in me from an early age. That's it. I can't explain it in another way. I really loved
Wow.
showing things to kids. That's it.
Wonderful. So you mean to say that you love to teach, you love to share your skills, you love to share your knowledge with the, it could be anybody, it could be kids, it could
I
be your
loved,
sister.
yes, I still love teaching and showing things to people that don't know. For example, the use of a web tool or something about the foreign language. I first like this, and of course, I love speaking English. And
Wow.
so I think this is a combination of two things that lead you to become a teacher, actually.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. Why? Because I am also a spoken English trainer with the certified with British Council,
Mhm.
and I love to teach spoken English to the kids or to anybody. It could be I mean apart from their age, actually, irrespective of their age. But the spoken English is very very important these days, and this skill is
Indeed,
has to be empowered to each and every
indeed,
person. Absolutely. All right. So the
indeed.
second question: how do you handle the mood swings of your students?
uh, well, nowadays that we are on lockdown and we see kids through a screen, there's not much that we can do, unfortunately. The only thing I can try to do is ask them to turn on the cameras because we usually have the cameras off for safety reasons. So towards the end of the lesson, I tell them, okay, turn on your cameras, push a reaction a button so that you can show smiley faces, etc. I might try to take some photos, for a screenshot of all of them together, so that I can make them feel, better. When we are at school, things are getting a bit easier because you can be there with them. You can actually see their facial expressions. You can talk to them in private and ask them what's wrong with them, and accordingly you can adjust your behavior towards them. So through discussion, through some, singing or dancing or, well, I would call it doing some silly things in the classroom, you make them feel happier. Don't forget that a classroom is an active and living thing. So every day you have moods that change all the time. So you have to be flexible and go by what you see.
Wonderfully said that it is very difficult to handle the mood swing, especially the kind of the lockdown period we are going through. It's been almost a year's time now,
Mhm.
and as it is in the physical class also, to keep up that momentum with the kids, you need to make them lively. You need to make
Exactly.
your class very active also.
Exactly.
So you need to have those activities in place. So you mean to say that you play music activities or some to make the class more effective and joyful as well. Am I
Sometimes with
right?
kids, yes, sometimes with kids, you have to be the clown, actually. Uh, I don't say it in a derogatory way, but you can't always be the stern and strict teacher towards them. You must play with them. You must have a cheerful personality. So they do know that when Miss Georgia is in and she needs to have a class with us, she will have a class with us for even 10 minutes. And then she can be the clown with us and play with us and sing with us. So I think we have a silent agreement on this and we are getting on well.
Wow, wonderful. So, I mean, most of it is covered, but still, I would like to ask one question. How did you cope up during lockdown as a person in your personal life as well as your professional life? I mean, everybody was under stress, everybody was depressed, be it as a student, be it as a parent, be it as an educator. So, how did you cope up with all the things, and how do you make a balance between all of
Um,
those?
well, family support played an important role. We have always been there together for each other. The first pandemic, the first lockdown, found us more unprepared. We had to stay at home, not knowing how to start teaching kids, how to help our children as well. So, what we had to do is stay in our house, watch some TV all together, play board games all together, so that we had some more quality time together. Then things started to clear up concerning how we should teach students online, and as a program came up. So I had to spend a lot of time in front of computer, not only teaching, but also preparing for next day. Kids, my children had to spend a lot of time on computer for the same reasons. So there is mutual understanding that mom is a teacher, she has to work. Kids are students, they have to work as well. We keep some time for all of us at night, playing board games, talking, and having fun. It's difficult for all families, I guess. And during some reading I did on internet, this was an extremely, and is still an extremely difficult period where there are a lot of cases of increased domestic violence. And I think that's what pandemic revealed, actually, that the society was not ready, we were not ready to get through such a pandemic. We need to be stronger and together with our family and the people whom we love and who support us.
Very rightly said, Ms. Georgia, that we were not prepared and we were totally under stress. There was a lot of
Mhm.
domestic violence happening at the same time. But having said that, as we all know that as educators, we all are warriors, and we have overcome the situation very well. Be it us or be it for our students as well as kids. And also, there's something called the women power. Being a women power, being that a woman, we actually tried to keep our bonding and keep everyone encouraged at our own places as well, be it our
It's
families, be it
it's
our
always
colleagues.
women, Rabia. It's always women. I
Abs-
mean,
it's
you had to
always
act, yeah,
women.
both as a mother and as a professional. You had to support both your kids and your students. It's not easy. And thank God,
Not
well, I
easy.
coped with this pandemic because apart from the job I had to do and work, I met so many wonderful people, as we mentioned before with you and Dr. Vaisali. There have been a lot of Facebook groups which were formed for this reason, so we could get help and support on either technical tools or how to use the platform, etc. And a lot of other groups were formed, which helped bring people together from all over the world. I met so many people since last March. It's something beyond any imagination. I know people from all over the world because of the pandemic, but not all people were as lucky as
Because
me.
of the pandemic, yes.
Yeah.
Very rightly said. I mean, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, we are just collaborating to learn more and more
Exactly.
from each other. In fact, I
Exactly.
would like to share an experience that we actually learned from our students as well. These digital apps, because the students are more, I mean, they are young, they have been using the digital equipment and these digital apps more in a more advanced manner than us also. So I think somewhere we learn
Yes,
from our
this is
students
what
as well.
I wanted to add now, that the pandemic brought out the need for students and parents to understand the fact that technology is not there for them to just play a computer game. Technology is not there to play Fortnite or free games or etc. It's there for us to help to teach and learn as well. So one of the most difficult aspects at the beginning was that we had to teach both parents and students how to use the tools. They had to learn to set up an email account. They had to learn to use the Google Forms, for example. These were important things that they didn't know they existed. So we had to do some training at the beginning, but now they understand that technology is there for us to learn efficiently and in a more, let's say, playful way.
Yes, I was coming to this point in a more playful way, because it was so difficult to keep up that momentum and make your class effective and joyful through online classes. So I was coming to the same question actually, Ms. Georgia. So what were the actually teaching techniques that you applied for digital classes to make it more joyful and active as well at the same point of time?
um, I usually use the random wheel. There is a random wheel, and I write either their name. So each time the wheel stops at their name, I ask them a question, or the words at the random wheel. And each time a word comes out, they have to get to say what it means in either English or in Greek. So through games, through online quizzes, through YouTube videos. They love listening to videos and singing along with them, or discussing after. And I because we work both synchronously and asynchronously, I try to upload to the platform online games which have to do with the things that I've taught them in order for them to revise them and implement the things that they have learned. So games. Yeah. Educational
Games.
games. Yes,
Games,
I
right?
have to stress that.
Right. And very important. All right. So the next question coming to you is: would you like to share certain apps, educational games, more interesting and effective as well at the same point of time? So why don't you share certain apps which are free to use for the educators? Because still the pandemic is not over, and going forward the way would be like a hybrid mode as the scenario looks like. Because I mean, we got the news yesterday only that certain countries have again got a lockdown, at least in another for 1 month actually. And if you talk about the India, the scenario is like half of the schools are yet not open. So we are still continuing with this online and offline classes, and it will continue. So I would like to request you. Can I just request everybody to be on mute, please? We are getting distracted. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So any
Okay.
particular free apps to be used?
Okay, the most important one that most teachers know is the applications which are offered by Google.
Okay.
Google Forms, which can be used for online quizzes, and Google Slides, where you can create a slide, a presentation, and your students can start adding to it. So this is one for sure. I have also used Educandy, which presents words and exercises in form of candies, really colorful one for young kids, and live worksheets where you can do your exercises and send them to your teacher, or you can see the mark you got by yourself. Learning apps where you create crosswords and matching activities and comprehension questions, etc. Learning apps, live worksheets, Educandy. I'm losing the ClassTools.net, where you can find the random wheel, and you can find fake book pages that the students can create, and crosswords again, etc. And ThingLink, which is used like a picture, and on the picture you can add exercises, videos, pictures, so that the kids can go and click on each of it. And later I have started using Nearpod, where you can have both a presentation and exercise to implement on what you have presented. And Nearpod and Wakelet, where you
My
can
God.
collect, yeah. I mean, there is
A lot many
Wakelet is
apps.
really,
Yes.
sorry?
I said that you're using lot many techniques and lot many apps actually to make your class more effective.
There,
So may I
there are a
request Miss
plethora of tools. There are a
Ra?
plethora of apps out there. You just click on Google and you find everything. It's interesting. It's so
So
interesting.
may I just request Miss Georgia
Yes.
to type in the chat box certain apps to know, so that we can all get a benefit out of it, because it would be very difficult, at least for me, to remember all these apps, remember all these names.
Yes.
Type in the chat box.
Of course. And you have written Educandy.
Yes,
I will write it again. Don't worry. You can ask me something else if you want, so that we don't have people waiting for us.
Yeah, exactly. So the question, just one more question. I mean, as you have already mentioned a lot about effective engagement of the. So I would like to understand how these apps helped you to make the effective engagement with your students. Actually, I mean, I am sure it would be more activity-based classes. But were the students taking interest? Because I'm sure it's been more than almost a year now, and if you talk about the kids, if you talk about the students, there is a certain time period with which the students get bored out of this online screen time. And yes, of course, the eyesight gets affected. So to make it effective and to keep the class stay at least for 30 to 40 minutes class, the period, how did you cope up with this situation? How did the students actually acknowledge it? And what was the scenario? Were the parents also involved in doing certain activities along with the students? So I would like to ask you so that you can share with the entire world about these things.
Okay.
It's about your own experience, I guess, teaching experience while lockdown, basically.
It's okay. It is an undeniable fact that nowadays students have to spend a lot of time in front of their screens because, first of all, they have to attend their classes synchronously. Uh, this fact alone leads them to spend at least 4 hours every day in front of a screen. So some parents were really and still are unwilling for their children to spend even more time in front of a computer doing the interactive activities. So what I'm trying to do is trying to have my students do some exercises during class, and I try to um, give them as homework as little as possible. I give them homework at the physical, let's say, book as well, because I try to keep some degree of normalcy in their life. So they have their book, their course book. They also have their activity book. They can work on them since they can have a look at them and look at me, and we can discuss the exercises. And then I add some web tools, apps, because as I've already said, I don't want them to spend too much time in front of a screen, and neither do their parents. You have to keep a balance to it. It's not easy.
Right, very rightly said. It's not at all easy, but still, thanks to those parents as well, and thanks to the kids as well, who are still trying to, cope up with the situation, and who are actually, I mean, supporting us in a way, because they are the support. That's the reason we are just able to, go
Exactly.
ahead and keep going on this attitude. We are not giving up on them. They are not giving up on us, actually. So
Exactly.
I think that's what the more I would like to ask you one last question. I mean, I'm sure being a teacher, you understand the psychology of the students, that how the student is feeling at that a particular time. So, were you able to make a close connect with your students? Was it like a more towards a kind of mentoring a student, or just into teaching purpose or educating? So, how did you handle these things? How did you do that? And how are you still doing that?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's not easy to, if you haven't come closer to your students while you are in physical classroom, it's not easy for you to come closer to them when you are online. The only thing I'm trying to do is listen to them every time they ask for something. For example, the most important thing for the kids is for them to see me on camera. So while the regulations say that all students should have their cameras off because of internet problems and because of safety reasons, they always ask me to turn on their cameras and my camera so we can have, a feeling of being together. I can never refuse that to them. I mean, yes, okay, let's take a photo. We had group photos during Christmas. We all wear something really funny Christmas thing on our head, and we had photos. This is the only thing they will remember, and this is what we should try to do, because nowadays it's not only about teaching kids. I've read somewhere, it's not mine, I'm quoting, that we are all surviving a pandemic. So it's not always, trying to teach them something. They won't learn everything now. They should be there, they should be stronger now, and they should be happy even with what they have to learn, 2 out of 10 things. But they should know that their teachers are there for them. This is the most important thing for me. They will not learn English in 1 month. They will learn how to use a tool. This is important as well.
Yes, very rightly said that you have to make that connect, that bond with your students, especially during the tough times, wherein they should not lose out your respect. In fact, they should come close to you, and you should be able to help them in each and every scenario, whether you are enjoying a festival, celebrating a festival, or whether you are
Exactly.
actually helping them during the tough times to come out from that
They know
situation.
I'm always there. I mean, they can contact me either by
Yeah.
Viber, either or by Instagram, or Skype, anything, or through the platform as well. They know I'm there.
Absolutely. So you made yourself available 24 by 7 actually for your students, and that was
Don't
so
don't all
required. That was
teachers make themselves available? All teachers around the globe are like that now. I don't believe there is
on
any teacher
lockdown.
who doesn't care about their students.
Excuse me, Miss Rabia, ma'am.
Nothing
The
like that,
meeting
but
will get over in 5 minutes, so
yes,
I kindly take a span of time.
Right. All right, ma'am. I will go ahead with the question and answers in case somebody has any questions. So, hi, Dr. Tahara, Dr. Vishali, Ms. Sadaf. If anybody has any questions or out of the audience, you can try, you can type in the chat box if you have any questions from Ms. Georgia, and she would love to answer those questions. Anybody
I
has any
think
questions? Because we are just
no, I have no question, but I feel that whatever Georgia has said, I could connect each and every word with her. So hats off to you, Georgia. You are doing a wonderful job.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Yes, absolutely. Wow, Dr. Tahara says that she really enjoyed the session. So amazing to Miss Georgia. The kind of efforts we as educators we all are doing is actually commendable, and we are actually warriors. I know. I mean, many people says that the doctors, the people who are standing on the road or helping the security, along with them, we are also warriors because it was not an easy task to come online, take online classes, make it more effective, make it more joyful, as well as involving each and every member of the family of your students, as well as keeping up your family also in place, their feelings also, understanding their feelings also, and especially understanding you, motivating you yourself, encouraging you yourself, because for us there is nobody at times. So we have to encourage ourselves on our own because we have to encourage others. So that's the power of women. That's the power of each and every educator.
I think the
Anybody
pandemic
has
has brought
added?
out. I think the pandemic has brought out the inner strengths that we didn't know existed. Actually,
Yes, I totally agree with you, Ms. Georgia, that the inner strength, everybody could understand their own power, everybody could understand their own inner strength. And that's the power of
exactly.
lockdown, actually. So I think rather than always claiming or blaming the lockdown, we have the positive points on our tips for this lockdown, and we should have be very thankful and pray gratitude towards this lockdown and to
Exactly.
each and every person actually, and the tough times actually.
Exactly.
We should be thankful.
Exactly.
So I think that was a wonderful session, and thank you so much for each and everybody, Dr. Tahara, Sadaf, Dr. Vishali, and the audience for joining us today. And I'm sure many people could take benefit from Ms. Georgia. And I would like to tell all the audience that Ms. Georgia is very active on social media, be it LinkedIn or be it Facebook. So if you would like to take any help or any support, please connect with Ms. Georgia, Dr. Tahara, Dr. Vishali, or me myself as well, and Sadaf as well. We all are available to support, to help each and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the amazing questions. They were really insightful, and I could provide answers that would help everyone. I don't consider myself that I do a great work. I think I'm really at the bottom of the ladder. There are many amazing educators out there. You should know that.
Ms. Georgia, I mean, it is just to encourage and to support. You were amazing. Whatever answers you have given, they were actually very insightful, informative, actually.
Thank you.
You could make a heart-to-heart connect with each and everyone. That's
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
That was
it was great being here with you.
Thank you so much, and you have a great day ahead. Have a great weekend ahead. I'm sure nobody is taking a rest on the weekends as well. We are all working on the weekends as well. So let's keep motivating ourselves and keep that momentum of never give up and do not stop as well.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Thank you. Namaste.
Good luck to all. Thank you. Namaste. Good luck to all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.